Welcome. We bring you Japan's latest news every day. AI sums up what matters, so you can stay informed in English in just a few minutes. If you find it helpful, please like and subscribe. Kumamoto Earthquake Corporate Impact Day 1. Factory and store conditions as recovery operations begin. The Kumamoto earthquake is causing significant disruption to manufacturing across the Kyushu region. Automakers have halted operations at their Kyushu facilities, affecting production activities. There are growing concerns that damage to parts manufacturers could impact operations at factories outside Kyushu as well. Meanwhile, commercial facilities that escaped damage are beginning to resume operations, and efforts are underway to support the region's economic recovery. Companies are proceeding with safety inspections of their facilities while planning phased resumption of operations. Going forward, the early recovery of supply chains will be key to minimizing the economic impact of the earthquake. Middle school boy swept away in river while playing in water in Toyota, Aichi, remains unconscious. A serious accident occurred in the Yahagi River in Toyota City, Aichi Prefecture. On August 1, shortly after 3 p.m., a second-year middle school boy who was playing in the river was swept away by the current. Fire department rescue teams rushed to the scene and rescued the boy, but he was unconscious when transported to the hospital. He is currently receiving medical treatment from doctors. Such accidents occur repeatedly every year during river play over summer vacation. We urge all parents to exercise extreme caution when their children approach rivers and to always ensure adult supervision. Additionally, playing in areas subject to sudden flooding or with swift currents is extremely dangerous. We are calling on everyone to prioritize safety above all else. Kumamoto's Hikawa town officials brief lawmakers on earthquake damage, urge swift action on water outages. On August 1, the mayor and other officials of Hikawa town in Kumamoto Prefecture briefed town assembly members on the damage caused by the recent earthquake. The town recorded a seismic intensity of 7, resulting in severe damage across the area. During the briefing session, details were reported on the status of lifeline restoration efforts and building damage assessments. The most pressing issue has emerged as widespread water outages, with many residents continuing to lack access to tap water. Assembly members voiced strong opinions that efforts to address the water shortage must be accelerated without delay. The town has indicated its policy to rapidly advance emergency water distribution and water main restoration work, confirming its commitment to make all-out efforts toward the early restoration of residents' normal lives. Java man gave birth to underdeveloped infants and may have engaged in cooperative child rearing. New findings have emerged regarding Java man infants from approximately 100,000 years ago. A research team from the University of Tokyo and other institutions analyzed infant bones and discovered that Java man was born in an underdeveloped state, similar to modern humans. Such infants require extended protection and care after birth. The research team points out that Java man groups may have engaged in cooperative child rearing to raise these infants. Previous research on human evolution has focused on when such complex child rearing practices began, and this discovery serves as an important clue for understanding the development of human sociality. Previously unknown works by Matsumoto Seichou discovered before his debut, 2 novels including mystery story. Researchers have discovered that Matsumoto Seichou, a writer representing the Showa era, published 2 novels under a different pen name before his official debut, including a mystery-style work. These pieces were written before Seichou made his formal debut under the pen name by which he is now known. Researchers are calling these Seichou's Phantom debut works. The discovery provides valuable clues for understanding the full scope of Seichou's literary career in the history of Japanese literature. Going forward, further research is expected to clarify the circumstances under which these works were published and what influence they may have had on his subsequent creative output. Hayabusa 2 passes within approximately 400 meters of asteroid surface, JAXA. Japan's space agency JAXA has released new details about the Hayabusa 2 probe's flyby mission near the asteroid Trifine. According to JAXA, Hayabusa 2 passed at an extremely high speed at a distance of approximately 400 meters from the asteroid's surface. This mission provided an important opportunity to acquire detailed observational data of the asteroid. Hayabusa 2 is a probe with a proven track record of returning precious samples from the asteroid Ryugu to Earth in 2020. This close observation of Trifine is drawing attention as a contribution to advancing future space exploration technology and expanding scientific knowledge about asteroids. LDP Policy Chief Kobayashi aims to build party consensus on government's consumption tax reduction plan for food. Regarding a consumption tax reduction on food products, LDP Policy Research Committee Chair Kobayashi indicated his intention to build consensus within the party based on the government's proposed basic policy framework. The government proposal's main provision is to reduce the consumption tax rate on food items from the current 8% to 1% for a 2-year period beginning in April next year. Chairman Kobayashi emphasized his commitment to achieving agreement through extensive internal party discussions on this policy. Meanwhile, he also indicated recognition that it will be necessary to examine revenue sources from both income and expenditure perspectives to secure funding for the tax cut. Going forward, the government and the party will work together to finalize specific fiscal measures. The consumption tax reduction is expected to serve as a relief measure for the public's livelihood amid rising prices, and prompt consensus building within the party is being called for. Farewell gathering held for Sugita Kazuhiro, longest-serving Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary, Prime Minister attends. A farewell gathering was held in Tokyo for former Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Sugita Kazuhiro, who served as the top administrator of the government. Sugita served as Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary for nearly 9 years, the longest tenure in that position, and passed away last December. Prime Minister Takaichi and numerous government officials and prominent figures from various sectors attended today's gathering to pay their respects and recall Sugita's accomplishments. Over many years, Sugita was highly regarded for his capabilities and contributions as a key advisor in the government's important policy decisions. Democratic Party of Japan to compile opinions on merger following interim agreement, focus on whether consensus can be reached. The three parties, the Centrist Reform Alliance, the Democratic Party of Japan, and the Clean Government Party, have compiled an interim agreement on a merger and agreed to reach a final conclusion by the end of August. This represents a significant agreement toward a realignment of political forces. However, cautious views about the merger remain strong within the Democratic Party of Japan, and it is anticipated that compiling party opinion may prove difficult. While party leaders are moving toward agreement on basic direction, differing views exist among party members and lawmakers. Going forward, as each party moves forward with adjustments over specific conditions and policies, whether true consensus can be achieved will be a major focal point. Attention will be focused on whether the parties can reach a certain conclusion through democratic discussion within the party. Demand for beverages and food surges at convenience stores in disaster-stricken areas. Retailers strengthen delivery operations. Convenience stores throughout Kumamoto Prefecture are experiencing a sharp surge in demand for beverages, rice balls, and other food items in the aftermath of the earthquake. In the affected areas, store traffic has increased, raising concerns that these products may run short. In response, major convenience store chains have begun strengthening their delivery systems to prevent product shortages. They are increasing transportation frequency from distribution centers to quickly supply stores with needed merchandise. Additionally, some companies are expanding inventory sharing between local store locations and increasing the volume of product orders to ensure adequate stock. Moving forward, companies are expected to continue these measures to support the livelihoods of disaster victims. SoftBank and others invest in 7&i Holdings to deploy AI for store efficiency. Three major companies, telecommunications giant SoftBank, mobile payment leader PayPay, and Yahoo, have announced they will invest approximately 300 billion yen in 7&I Holdings. Through this partnership, the companies will leverage SoftBank Group's AI technology and data analysis expertise to streamline store operations at 7-Eleven and other retail outlets. By integrating customer IDs across platforms, the partners aim to provide a seamless shopping experience. The collaboration is expected to accelerate digital transformation in the retail industry and enhance customer services. U.S. imposes import restrictions on 43 Chinese companies under Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, China protests. The Trump administration has announced it will add 43 Chinese companies to import restrictions, determining they were involved in forced labor in China's Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region. The measure is based on the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act, which prohibits the importation of products produced through forced labor. The targeted companies include those in industries such as textiles and solar panels. Meanwhile, the Chinese government has strongly objected to the decision, insisting that forced labor does not exist. China has also protested the U.S. measures as unwarranted interference in its internal affairs. The move could further escalate economic tensions between the United States and China going forward. U.S. media reports Trump administration planning possible attack on Iran this weekend. American media outlets are reporting that the Trump administration is planning to attack Iran alongside Israel as early as this weekend. The targets are said to be multiple Iranian energy-related facilities. In response, Iranian officials have strongly rejected the reports, stating they have prepared plans for a large-scale counterattack. Tensions in the Middle East could escalate further. Continued monitoring of developments is necessary. U.S. Treasury reported to have intervened to buy yen on July 31, would be unprecedented if coordinated intervention. As the yen has been appreciating rapidly in the foreign exchange market, Britain's financial newspaper The Financial Times reported that the U.S. Treasury intervened in the market on July 31, selling euros and buying yen. If Japan and the United States conducted a coordinated yen buying intervention, it would be an extremely unusual development. Until now, direct yen buying interventions by the United States have been extremely rare, with indirect measures through dollar sales typically being the mainstream approach. The yen has appreciated significantly through the morning of August 1 Japan time, with the dollar weakening. It has been pointed out that both nations may be signaling a stronger willingness to cooperate in order to maintain economic stability. Attention is now focused on future movements in the foreign exchange market. FIFA withdraws plan to bring in outside investment following strong backlash from soccer community. By Jack Skelton, BBC Sports senior correspondent, and Simon Stone, soccer news editor. FIFA President Gianni Infantino announced on the 1st that the International Soccer Federation is withdrawing its plan to raise outside funds by selling equity stakes in major FIFA-hosted tournaments, following strong opposition from the soccer world. President Infantino stated that the project has proven to be incompatible with its original purpose and has created division within the sport. Infantino had previously offered FIFA's 211 member associations up to $40 million, or approximately 6 billion yen, in funding if they supported accepting private investment in tournaments including the Men's World Cup and Women's World Cup. On the 30th, the 55 associations belonging to the Union of European Football Associations voted unanimously to boycott the World Cup if the plan were to be implemented. Following UEFA's decision, CONCACAF announced on the same day that its 41 member associations have rejected FIFA President Infantino's proposal. The Asian Football Confederation also declared on the 31st that it stands in solidarity with the European and North and Central American and Caribbean federations. Around 60,000 migrants surge from Morocco into Spain's Ceuta enclave. Spanish PM condemns human traffickers. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez condemned human trafficking organizations on July 31 for orchestrating the surge of approximately 60,000 migrants from Morocco into Ceuta, Spain's North African enclave territory. According to local media, the chaos caused by the massive migrant influx has resulted in at least 57 deaths. Prime Minister Sanchez characterized the mass migration as an infringement on Spain's territorial integrity. In response, Italy temporarily suspended the Schengen Agreement with Spain. The Schengen Agreement is an arrangement among 29 countries, primarily EU member states, that allows people to travel freely across borders without passport checks. The surge in migration from Morocco sharply increased following a ruling by Spain's Supreme Court that migrants heading to Ceuta and Melilla, Spain's other North African enclave, cannot be forcibly returned to Morocco even if intercepted at sea. Upon arriving in Ceuta on the 31 Stone, Prime Minister Sanchez stated that criminal organizations deliberately misinterpreted the Supreme Court's recent ruling, triggering the sudden influx of migrants. After consulting with Moroccan authorities, it became clear that human trafficking mafias twisted the Supreme Court's ruling to their advantage, and this interpretation spread rapidly, he said.